بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأراضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. We continue our studies of different resources that are used by Muslim jurists in different schools of fiqh. And we said one is qiyas, and we studied it. And we said that in our jurisprudence and also in some other schools of fiqh, qiyas is not accepted, but some Muslim jurists accept it. We mentioned what are our concerns. The next is al-istihsan. Istihsan literally means to find something to be good. Istahsanahu means wajadahu hasanan. Okay? So it means to find something to be good, to be nice. But technically, they mean when a jurist has a case in his hand, for which there is no specific guidance from Quran or Sunnah, etc., he may form a kind of hidden qiyas, or for example, he may exclude something as an exception from a general rule, because he sees that there is an interest here, there's a maslaha here, and he wants to secure that maslaha. So in his own calculations, he finds maslaha in making an exception to a rule or adding something for which we don't have guidance. So he says, we are on page 293 from Usul al-Istinbat. Al-Istihsan, salam alaikum, min al-adillat al-mukhtalaf fiha. One of those resources that are controversial is istihsan. وَعَرَّفُوهُ. They have defined it in this way. بأنه دليل ينقدح في عقل المجتهد. It's a kind of dalil, a kind of reason or a kind of resource, a kind of reference that takes form and shape in the aql, in the intellect of the jurist. So it's a kind of personal reason that a jurist in his mind would find that this is what we should do or this is what we shouldn't do. تقتضي ترجيح قياس خفي على قياس جلي. By this dalil that takes form in his mind, he would prefer, okay, that a hidden qiyas would be preferred over an obvious qiyas, or an exception, a particular exception to a general rule. So although you have to go by general rule, but he wants to make an exception. فَهُوَ إِذَنْ قِيَاسٌ خَفِيٌّ. So this is indeed a hidden qiyas. In his mind, he is making a kind of qiyas. Or استثناء فرد من حكم كلي. He's making an exception, excluding a particular instance from a general rule Why he does that? لمصلحة, because of an interest that تقتضي الاستثناء من الحكم. He thinks that because of this interest, we should make this exception. So, in reality, Salaam alaikum, in reality, istihsan goes back to what? Qiyas, or what we will discuss later, al-masalihul mursala, because he's finding a maslaha there. فَإِذَا لَمْ تَثْبُتْ حُجِّيَّتُهَا or حُجِّيَّتُهُمَا, I think should be حُجِّيَّتُهُمَا. If the hujjiyah of qiyas and masalih mursala is not proved, lam tathbut hujjiyatu. The hujjiyah of istihsan is also not proved because it's reduced to those things. فَلَا نُطِيلُ الْكَلَامَ فِيهِ بِخُصُوصِهِ. So we don't speak too much about this. We have already discussed qiyas, and inshallah we will talk about al-masalihul mursala. قَدْ احْتَجَّ بِهِ. For your information, if you want to know which schools of fiqh accept istihsan and which don't accept, he says, قَدْ احْتَجَّ بِهِ أَكْثَرُ الْحَنَفِيَّةِ. Most of the Hanafi jurists, they have accepted this. وَالْحَنَابِلَةِ, and most of the Hanbali jurists. وَرَدَّهُ أَكْثَرُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. But the majority of Muslims have rejected this, like Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, many of the companions of the Prophet, all Shia scholars, and even many Sunni scholars. Okay? Because we have different schools of fiqh. For example, نُقِلَ عَنِ الْإِمَامِ الشَّافِعِي. So Imam of Shafi'i brothers, he has said that مَنِ اسْتَحْسَنَ فَقَدْ شَرَّعَ. The one who does istihsan, indeed he is legislating. He is making a law. He is not discovering. Because in fiqh, we should discover the law, not make the law. Yeah? Faqih, mujtahid, marja', they don't make the law. Yeah? They discover the law. But he says, istihsan is like you are making the law. Man istahsana, whoever does istihsan, Imam Shafi'i says, faqad sharra. He has legislated. He has made the law. وكلمات ابن حزم في ذم الصحابة للرأي والقياس قد ذكرها العلامة الشهرستاني في مقدمته لهذا الكتاب فراجعها. Ibn Hazm al-Andalusi, he has quoted sayings of ashab, companions of the Prophet, against qiyas and against relying of faqih on his opinion. This book has an introduction or a foreword by Allama Sayyid Hibatuddin al-Shahrastani. So he says, if you want them, refer to his foreword for this book at the beginning. Okay? As an example, Maroviya, it has been quoted or cited from the second caliph that he said, اتهموا الرأي على الدين وإن الرأي منا هو الظن والتكليف. He said, be suspicious about personal opinion in religion. Don't let personal opinion get into religion. Our opinion is just a dhann, means it's not yaqeen, it's just high probability. What taklif, it's a kind of you are making the law, you are making obligation. So even he was not happy with this. The third is al-masalihul mursalah. Literally, masalih is the plural form for maslaha. Maslaha is opposite to mafsada. Yeah? Maslaha means interest. Mafsada means harm. Mursala, what does it mean? Means free. Mursala means free. Liberated, something like this. For example, in Arabic, if someone doesn't trim his beard, doesn't trim it, they say arsala lihiyatahu. It doesn't mean sent. Irsal here doesn't mean to send, that he sent his beard. No, means he left it free to grow. He didn't trim it. Arsala lihiyatahu. So, al-masalihul mursala means these are interests which are mursala. It's very open. They are not defined. They are not limited. It's just open and vague. Okay? So look at the technical definition. Al-masalihul lati lam yashra' or lam yusharra'. Shara'a means to make law. Shara'a also means to make law. Shara'a lakum min ad-din ma wassa bihi Nuhan. Shara'a. And we say shari'. You can also say shara'a, tashri'. المصالح التي لم يشرع الشارع حكما لتحقيقها. These are the interests that Shari', Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then on his behalf, the messenger has not made any ruling in order to achieve those maslahah. Tahqiqaha. To gain and achieve those maslahah. Means Shari', because we had this discussion before. We said we believe that al-ahkam al-shar'iyya tabi'atun lil-masalih wal-mafasid al-waqi'iyya. Yeah? Religious rulings, according to us, are based on real interest and harm. So when Allah says do something or not to do something, it's a matter of real harm and interest. You remember we talked about this before in maybe usul first, that if masalih are so important without which you cannot reach salvation, they become wajib. If maslahah is very important but still without which you can become happy and have sa'ada, it becomes mustahab. If those harms are very dangerous and stopping you, they are called haram. If not, it's makruh. So you remember we said al-maslahatul mulzama, al-maslahatul mufawwita, or al-maslaha ghayrul mulzama or ghayrul mufawwita. Sometimes a maslaha is something that is compelling, because without that you cannot achieve sa'ad. Okay? So everything in Islamic legislation is based on real interest and real harm. Of course, according to Allah's understanding. We know that there is reality behind this. And if we had knowledge, we could have come to the same conclusion. If me and you were given enough information, we would have come to exactly the same conclusion as we have in religion. About prayer, fasting, hajj, all of that. But we don't have enough information. So, then there are masalih that shari', Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet, has not made any ruling for achieving them. And we don't have any evidence for them. وَلَمْ يَدُلَّ دَلِيلٌ شَرْعِيٌّ عَلَى اعْتِبَارِهَا أَوْ إِلْغَائِهَا. And we don't have any religious reference to say that you should regard or disregard this maslaha. So faqih understands there is a maslaha here, but cannot find any reference to say that this maslaha is something that God wants us to go after it. God forces us, commands us to go after it. So this is the meaning of maslaha. Mursala, it said, وَسُمِّيَتْ مُرْسَلَةً لأنها مطلقة غير مقيدة, because this is absolute, this is not modified, not limited, has no condition. بدليل اعتبار ولا دليل إلغاء. There is no dalil, no reference to say that you must observe this maslaha or you must not observe this maslaha. It's silent about it. When do we have this? What is the case in which you can discuss masalih al-mursala? كل حكم يراه المجتهد فيه مصلحة عامة لغالب الناس. Every ruling that mujtahid finds that there is a general maslaha in this for people, or every ruling that mujtahid sees that there is daf'u mafsada, we can prevent harm for majority of people, for most of people, ghalibun nas. For example, it's very good for people to do exercise, physical exercise. Faqih says, okay, I make it wajib. Can faqih make it wajib? According to masalih mursali, yes, it's very important to have physical exercise. So faqih says, make it wajib. Or, for example, to say, watch TV too much. There's mafsada, so faqih may say it's haram. Categorically haram. We say these are the things which are not easy for faqih to say halal, haram, or wajib, or, because we have general rulings, and when there is no specific ruling, you have to either find a general ruling of hukm waqi'i or you go to usul amaliyah. It's very difficult for a faqih to say that you must do exercise, otherwise you are doing haram. If you are sure that this is what Allah wants, then you can say it's wajib. But it's very difficult to say Allah wants this in a very decisive way, not as a mustahab, not as a recommendation. Yes?
Do the mazahib al-arba'a, do they have usul amali?
Maybe they don't have as usul amali exactly like us, but yes, they have bara'a, for example, they have
then where does this fit in with bara'a?
No, so those who believe the invalidity of this, they want to use it before reaching usul amaliyah. So they say these are like having kitab and sunnah. They leave no doubt so that you do usul amaliyah. Usul amaliyah is when you have shak.
This is khata for them.
According to them, yes, this explains our duty. فَيُوجِبُ الْأَوَّلِ وَيُحَرَّمُ الثَّانِي. The faqih, the mujtahid, makes the first one necessary, obligatory, and prohibits the second, without a ruling coming from shari'. بغير أن يرد من الشارع حكم إيجاب ولا تحريم. No ruling that says this is obligatory or it is prohibited is there, but based on his evaluation and calculation, he says it's wajib or haram. قد اختلف المسلمون في ذلك. Muslim scholars have disagreed about this. I say Muslim scholars because those who are not the scholars, they don't have opinion. So when we say Muslimun have differences, means the scholars. فَجُمْلَةٌ مِّن فُقَهَاءِ الْمَذَاهِبِ اسْتَنَدُوا إِلَيْهَا. some of the jurists of different schools have referred to this. وَجَعَلُوهَا حُجَّةً يُشَرَّعُ بِهَا الْحُكْمُ الشَّرْعِي. They said this is a valid hujjah, valid proof by which you can make the religious ruling like kitab and sunnah. The same way you use kitab and you use sunnah, you can use masalih mursala. وَرَدَّهَا, not varadaha. It's not varadaha, it's وَرَدَّهَا. Al-Baghun, other mujtahids have rejected this. وَمَنَعُوا مِنَ الْفَتْوَى إِسْتِنَادًا إِلَيْهَا. They said you cannot issue fatwa based on masalih mursala. Okay? منعوا من الفتوى استنادا إليها. This استنادا إليها is for fatwa, not for منعوا. They prohibited fatwa which is based on this. Not that based on this they prohibited fatwa. Do you understand? منعوا من الفتوى استنادا إليها means they said you cannot issue fatwa by using this. So استنادا إليها is dalil for fatwa. It means based on this dalil you cannot issue fatwa. This is not based on this you stop fatwa. You stop fatwa which is based on this.
So do you mean the Sunnis can issue wajibat
Some.
other than what God has done?
Some of the Sunni brothers, they accepted masalih mursala as a way to understand Islamic rulings. وَمَنَعُوا مِنَ الْفَتْوَى إِسْتِنَادًا إِلَيْهَا مِنْ دُونِ وُرُودِ دَلِيلٍ مِنَ الشَّارِعِ عَلَى ذَلِكَ. Some Muslims, they said you cannot issue fatwa based on this without having received a kind of reference from Shari', from Allah or the Prophet. Among those who have rejected this are Ahlul Bayt, all of them, Fuqaha or Shi'atihim, jurists among the Shia of Ahlul Bayt, Wal Imam al-Shafi'i, وغيرهم. But those who have said masalih mursala can be used as evidence, what is their proof? What is their argument? أما حجة المعتبرين لها. معتبرين means those who believe it is valid. They give i'tibar, they recognize masalih mursala. Their argument is this. They say أنها مصالح ودرء مفاسد. These are interests that we want to secure, and these are harms that we want to repel, we want to reject, we want to stop. And Shari' has not prohibited. And these are important in the opinion of Mujtahid. So, as long as Shari' has not stopped, we can issue fatwa based on this. And we say, because these are important masalih that we cannot ignore, and Shari' is also silent about it. Shari' has not talked against it. But the answer to this argument is أن النظر المجتهد لا يكفي لتشريع أحكام جديدة. Nazar means opinion, رأي. The opinion of Mujtahid is not sufficient for making new rulings. You cannot legislate new rulings based on the opinion of Mujtahid. Rulings that Shari' has not made himself. إذ رب حكم يرى فيه مصلحة عامة وليس فيه في الواقع ذلك. There can be many rulings that the faqih finds there is maslaha in them, a general maslaha for public, but maybe he's mistaken. When human beings make the law or make the assessment, it's a problem. بل ربما يكون فيه فساد كبير. Sometimes there is a big mischief or big corruption there. لأن عقول البشر قاصرة عن درك المصالح الواقعية الحقيقية. Because human intellect cannot understand the real maslahah, the real interest. ولذلك قد يختلف المجتهدون في مصلحة الواقع. Sometimes you see different great jurists, scholars, they disagree about what is maslaha in this case, in this particular incident which has happened, واقعة. Yeah, أما الحوادث الواقع, in this incident which has happened, what is maslaha? It's not easy. Sometimes fuqaha may have different opinions. فكيف تنضبط المصلحة? How you can define maslaha وتحرز وتضمن للناس? How you can secure and guarantee maslaha for people so that mujtahideen can make the law for people from themselves. A faqih, how can a faqih be sure and make a law in order to achieve that maslaha? Allah, moreover, أن كل واقعة وكل فعل من أفعال المكلفين, all the incidents and all the actions of مكلفين إذا لم يكن عليه نص في الكتاب والسنة, if there is no specific text about them in the Quran and Sunnah, ولا إجماع عليه من فقهاء الأمة, and there is no consensus of jurists of Muslim Ummah, what should we do? We go to usul amaliyah. There is no kitab, no sunnah, no ijma. We go to usul amaliyah. لا بد أن يكون له حكم عقلي ثابت عند جميع العقلاء. It must have a rational ruling which all uqala accept. براءة, إباحة, or غير. Other usul amaliyah. براءة and إباحة are the same. فلا تصل المرتبة إلى تشريع المجتهد. So we don't need to reach the point that mujtahid makes the law. Mujtahid doesn't make the law. هذا كله في فتاوى المجتهدين التي تفرض على سائر المكلفين كحكم من حكم الأحكام الله. This is about the fatwas of mujtahideen that are supposed to be like a divine ruling. When a mujtahid tells you this is what you have to do, you consider it as a divine ruling, that yes, for the sake of Allah, you must do it. So this is a matter of fatwa, this is a matter of fiqh, this is a matter of sharia. But we have also other forms of masalih mursala. For example, what is our maslaha in educational system? What is our maslaha in health? What is our maslaha in making the roads? What is the maslaha in banking, in running offices? Of course, here we can use the best available experiences, the best available knowledge, plus try to be what are the Islamic observations and considerations. But you don't need to take it from religion, how to make a road or how to open a bank. هذا كله في فتاوى المجتهدين التي تفرض على سائر المكلفين كحكم من أحكام الله. The rulings and fatwas of mujtahideen are given to other mukallafin like hukm of God. They should act it as if they are, because although it is maybe not 100% sure, but you are 100% sure that you have to follow mujtahids. أما ما مثلوا به للمصالح المرسلة, but the examples that they have mentioned like الأعمال الإدارية والتنظيمات الحكومية من بعض الخلفاء, how we should run our offices, our banking, our post and these type of things. كتدوين الدواوين, divan and then dawawin means registrar, to register in the registrar, everything that government, used to do. وَوَضْعِ أُصُولَ الْبَرِيد, designing the principles of post. How to do post, post letters, post good. or تعيين المفتشين لمراقبة الموظفين, to appoint inspectors who would monitor employee. These are new things, these are new techniques, no problem. These are not new fatwas. فليست هي من باب الفتوى بأحكام شرعية، إنما هي من أعمال إمام المسلمين. These are the actions that the leader of Muslims does. يقوم بها لتنظيم شؤون البلاد. He does this in order to put the affairs of the people together and in order. Inshallah, we continue after a little break. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.